Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the SZR Racing Series, race number 2 in the series today. Riders are just getting out on course for 4 laps of the reverse Hilly Watopia course today. Real riders, real efforts right now in the massive multiplayer online training tool, which is Zwift. First thing I want to do, though, as the riders are getting out on course, we're going to take some top-down views here real quick, give you guys an idea of what is taking place right off the bat. We do have the A, B, C, and D category all taking off from the start-finish line together. It is a mass start. It does give us the ability to see a whole lot of the racers, which is really great for the broadcast. It also gives the ability for some of the racers to start figuring out where they belong as things do break up out on the course. We do see some ZA badges out there. It is not a ZA race that I am aware of. I may be incorrect about that. Martin is hanging out, the race organizer, in one of the chats. And Martin, correct me if I am wrong, but it is good to see well over 320. What did we hit, Martin? Was it 350? We were shooting, I think, for that 350 mark for the race today. We're getting back into those Zwift season numbers as we head into the winter. We're going to keep on moving forward. I love the new mini map. As you can see, where the front end of this pack is about at, we can't even see the red numbers just yet, the red dots just yet out on course. So the A boys and girls are absolutely flying already. And with 350-ish riders out on course, we're got a lot of clicking through to do to get back to the front. So we'll try and get there as quickly as we can. As I do that, though, the cool thing about the SZR series is that it is a series of races that they will be competing for points in. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is the current standings. It looks like in the A category, Johan Gren currently leading it out for PTZ right now. Followed up in the B category also. So everybody with 25 points will be the current standing first place rider in the series. So Johan Gren, Donald O'Donovan, Robert Ford, and then it will be Chris Gilbertson then for the C category. Those are your current series leaders for those categories. Then in the A category, we do have John Jacobson, Morton Jarland, then in the C category, Mikkel Johnson, and then Pete Hicks then sitting with 18 points. 15 points then in third place. Then it's about as far as we are going to go today. Martin Jorvik actually in the D category. Nice job, Martin. I heard you were hanging out on the couch today. What's up with that? We got to defend or move on up in that D category. Brandon Meltentalo then for KISS Racing Team, Dennis Westman, and then it looks like Magnus Giljam, excuse me. So that is your top 3 currently in these categories. We're going to be watching out for them as things do heat up. PTZ currently dominating, it looks like, in the team categories, then right along with the KISS Racing Team, and then Rue Riders, and then Merkia. Looks like in that A category. In the B category, then if we look over here, BRT Team, Innovation, PTZ, all there. Then in the C category, it looks like SZ is doing a good job there. DKZR, and then Team Watts per kilogram. In the D category, it will be SZ as well. Followed up by the Vikings. For the overall, it is PTZ, SZ, BRT, and then the KRT team in the 4th place. For the women, there is not a women's category team. Maybe a shout out to try and get on that. We'll see if we can maybe have some encouragement of a women's team to get out there and start dominating the SZR series. All right, back into the racing, though. We do have the front end of the B race, I believe, starting. Well, actually, we have to keep on moving forward here. We do have quite a few breaks taking place out on course. I think the initial breaks have happened through the S's here, and up toward the front here, I believe this most likely will be, yep, Kim Little. This is not one who would quickly be dropped off out on course. Good to see Kim here out in the race today. One of the stronger riders to be watching out for today, maybe for a win. We'll have to see if Mr. Johan Gren is out there looking to defend his current series lead. Daffy Williams is there for the KRT team. Adam Webb for Vision Cycling. A whole lot of recent controversy around Adam. It looked like in the Facebook news, the Facebook groups, but out there riding, and I think has something to prove today. We'll see if he can throw down and grab a W. Jay Cullen is out there as well, coming from Canada. We did see this rider show up, I think, with a solid result actually in the last week or so. I remember seeing Jay Cullen actually very recently, U23 rider. And he was in one of the KISS races, I believe. So I was thinking, watch out for this rider for the Zwift Academy, because he was racing so incredibly strongly in one of the XRS Crit road race. No, it was the KISS Europe race then. I believe a couple of weeks ago, perhaps. But I'm only seeing for him a XRS Crit road race flat back on March 5th, and then a January 3rd of this year as well, KISS Europe race. But I am absolutely positive we saw him recently in a Zwift race, or maybe it was a group ride. It was actually a group ride, excuse me. I was hanging out with Mr. Cullen actually in a group ride that I was leading, that's what it was, for the Zwift Academy. So good to see Jay Cullen out there. Jake Cullen, excuse me, not Jordan. There was a Jordan Cullen, though, locally here that was a super fast road racer / mountain biker who was winning some of the Wisconsin U23 stuff as well. Quentin is here as well. We are seeing from Martin. So, and Martin, 348 signed up. We'll be back next week, we hope. Swedish fish race. Good to hear that, Martin, even though I have no clue what we are talking about. Power-ups are not allowed in this race. No power-ups in this race today. That is a part of the rules. It is mono and mono. And this is going to be the place at which some people are going to be wishing that they could be using the power-ups, as they are going to start heading uphill for some crazy intensity, 7% gradient currently, as they make their first time up and over the top of the reverse Watopia climb here. Flags out, boys. As Kim Little is saying, I have no idea what Kim is getting at. Something to do with scones. I'm not exactly sure. Joker, he's flagged. Flogged? Are we flogging anyone here? What's going on with the flogs? And so now Webb here. Boniface is there as well. Watch out for the ODZ rider coming out of Canada as well. Boniface, if he could chat with me right now, would be able to let me know exactly who I believe Jake Cullen is, as I would have a feeling he has him on his radar. I would think, being a super strong U23 rider out of Canada, and probably rooting for the Canadian flag to try and make it into that Team Dimension Data U23 program. We'll see if perhaps we can grab a few of these riders in the Zwift Community Live Discord. I do know a lot of you are starting to use Discord, especially with the Zwift Academy, and we actually do have the official Zwift Community Live Discord space for when you're not using the Team Dimension Data space. We do have an official Zwift Community Live space, and it's a great space to jump into, to be on deck for interviews, post race, even or during group rides, or some sort of any kind of a event that we are broadcasting here. Jump into the Zwift Community Live Discord, and we'll definitely try and use that for as much interaction as we possibly can, for especially for these race interviews and getting more information from all of the riders. So Jake rides for Smart Savvy Garnu U23 team out of Vancouver. I knew Brett would have all the good information and coming out of Canada on Jake. That's absolutely awesome. So so it sounds like you're pretty close to him as well, at least in proximity. So good to hear that, and I'm excited to see how it turns out for him in the Zwift Academy. Kim Little here now going off the front already. Very early attack actually here, 6.4 watts per kilogram right now in this A category race. We do have the D, C, and B categories starting to make their way up over the top of the climb right now. I believe C. Edmonds perhaps will be the front end. Nope, there's one or two more up ahead of him in the D category. I'm going to just make our way on through some of these riders. As we do see Kim off the front, though, 6 seconds is the gap. Webb is trying to close it down, 3.7 watts per kilogram coming from him. Grimshaw is there as well. Locke's now going, and this is an extremely intelligent move, actually, with the group not really responding too much just yet, with Locke's now going. Dafford Williams going right along with him. Webb not able to hang on, it looks like, to the pace here, but this is with Little off the front now with a 340, a 4-second difference between Kim Little and Dafford Williams, and it looks like Locke's here as well. Will they be able to close it down to Kim? 5 seconds. Now the group's starting to chase there. 3 seconds is the difference, but Webb is not going to chase down his teammates, and this may be a point at which the rest of the group here is going to have to really perk up a little bit here and start to make a chase, because if they don't actually kill it at this point, they're going to be going off the back. Now, Jay John here out of the United States, killing it right now. It does look like he's on a verified, some sort of a power source. Looks like Smart Trainer perhaps, but no cadence for some reason coming right on through. Interesting look here at 10 watts per kilogram. Solid 467 all day long. Flags out. I think that's what Kim was getting at here. We'll go ahead and try and flag him with a ride on, perhaps. 10.4 all day long like this is just going to ruin the day for Kim. Even see Adam Webb here saying sorry to Kim, as this is not what we want to see at the front end of these races now. So some sort of a bug going on here for John. So everybody needs to be flagging John right now is what people are calling out for. Hey, John, you're on TV, Roberts is saying as well. So we will call it out as well, just because it's fairly obvious at this point. I try and stay as neutral as possible as a broadcaster, but 10 watts per kilogram all day long, solid, with it just stuck there at 460 watts. Something is up with the setup. He actually does not have a registered account either over at zwiftpower.com, and weighs supposedly 45 kilograms. Interesting rider for sure. If everyone could just log on in, though, the community is the best one to jump in and cause a to deal with something like this a lot of times. So make sure that you guys log in and go ahead. I'm calling it J. John Bug. Jan Bigdal is saying it. Hi, Nathan. Question for you. As we all know, most of our races are rather short and punchy. How do you think the Cat A guys will cope with figure 8 times 4 laps in Team Worlds, and what time? That's a great question, Tam. I'm thinking, and Tam's bringing that at us actually from the Zwift Community Live Facebook. You can also do the same by logging in over at Facebook and joining us over at Zwift Community Live, actually. Great question. And Tam, I think 4 times of the figure 8 is going to be a very long day in the saddle. Now, with the Team Worlds being on the line, I believe that is going to be a little bit more motivation to show up and kill it on those 4. I think it's going to see a difference in who is who amongst the racers, rather than just more of a cyclocross punchy who's got big watts. It might also break things up enough with the current drafting situation and CDA situation on the avatars to make the racing a little bit more interesting. You'll have the figure 8 out on course on Watopia is definitely one of the more dynamic courses. It has everything in it. And so having all of those punchy little climbs as well as longer climbs, you've got the forward Watopia 2-minute grinder, you've got the 3:30 to 4-minute grinder on the other side. Every kind of different exercise system besides just a straight up the mountain climb is going to be pressured. And so I think it's one of the better courses actually to use for seeing who is who amongst racers with every kind of ability to have out on course. So definitely great question, Tam. I really appreciate it, actually. So after I dip them in, what's going on there, Ian KRT? I'm wondering what's being talked about here. Tom Bovary is saying the Team Worlds race looks crazy, 120K. Whoop, whoop. So it definitely looks absolutely bonkers at 120K. I've done the 100K races out on Zwift, and I think we complete them in around, I believe, on a Watopia figure 8 course. So it's not going to be a flat course. We were doing about 100K in a little over 2 hours, maybe even a little under on a flatter course. And so I believe at 120, the finishing time on that course will probably be right around 2:30 or so. That's my guess is a 2:30 to maybe even 2:20 to 2:30. So how's it going, Rogers? Good to see you over at the Zwift Community Live Mixer page. So we do have Jake Cullen here now at the front of the A category. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of the C category riders in just a moment. We do need to find the front end of that race. I am seeing T. Kroll here, long-time Zwifter, out on course. Good to see him in the C category, following up behind, it looks like, Nordquist, as well as Guy Dessen there. Looks like Bergstrom's there out of Sweden as well. And A. Anderson, D. Oliver now, Colmer Axel now in a chase, making their way into the SEs actually. As I come through, and you can see all of the C riders up ahead with the little mini map. Such a great addition here. And as we move forward, let's go ahead and see if we can find the front end of this C category. Kay O'Donnell, though, coming out of Ireland, currently leading out this group in the C's. More B category and C category riders mixed together, though, here, as we do have G. Svensson, and then it will be N. Pinto. I am seeing S. Bailey and then Johansson here for the watts per kilogram team here. Haywood is there as well. Monkey D. Luffy. Absolutely great name there with Broback here coming out of Sweden there. Jarland is there as well out of Sweden riding. It looks like we lost him now. Edvinson as well. Lots of riders coming out of Sweden here. And I have a feeling that may have something to do with the sponsorship that has come through for Cyclotech. Cyclotech is actually doing a giveaway for this series only for riders coming out of Sweden, actually, though. So a big thank you to Cyclotech for their sponsorship of the SZR series, actually. And it does look like, and they are going to be able to be doing the shipping only to the those who are competing out of Sweden. But I think that has something to do with maybe the encouragement to a lot of the riders coming from that country to be riding out here today in these categories. So it's hand cycled. Hand cycle out of, it looks like, Sweden. Is that right? Is this guy actually riding on a hand cycle right now? 3.9 watts per kilogram. Absolutely amazing, actually, if he is doing so. Johansson is here as well, actually. And we'll have to see if this is the front end of this C category here, as I do move on over to ZwiftPower.com, and it'll give me a little bit of assistance. M. Johansson, though, solid 3.8 watts per kilogram, definitely a B category rider, has not done any Zwift races in the past. And actually, I think that the SC series, SCR series, has done a great job of bringing a lot of new riders into the world of Zwift racing, actually, because almost half the not half, but maybe a quarter of the riders here I am seeing over at ZwiftPower.com do not have a registered account and no past results that we can see here. Monkey D. Luffy here, Zelski there as well. We are seeing Wilson, Liggett, Johansson, as well as Hassan El Ramethi. I'm seeing PPT there as well. Lots of riders that are signed up that do not have any past results, actually, here out on Zwift, actually. So great job to Martin putting together such a great series of races here and encouraging new riders out on Zwift here. So I am looking now over at the A category as they're about to make their way for the second time up and over the top of the climb. Locks is here right along with Roberts. Little has been caught by the craziness of Jay John out there. I'm not sure if he's been flagged just yet, but Little here up toward the front now making an attack. It does look like they're going to be catching a few riders off the front here. J. John has been allowed to get away, though, at this point. 5.5 watts per kilogram. Looks like not enough flags on him just yet. Make sure the community is out there and force flagging through the Zwift mobile link on the riders that perhaps do not have a correct setup and just have the donuts. And so Rung here right along with Quentin Lefay, and it looks like Daffy Williams, Jake Cullen, Sullivan there as well. G. Petit coming out of France. Sullivan, it looks like, able to hang on to this attack right now. Roberts is trying to go with him as well. Nopke out of Germany, and then it looks like Grimshaw here taking up the back end of the pack right now. ZS here is a newer rider I have not seen. I do not believe he's actually got a big old flag and a DQ, though, next to his name, right along with MD Bike. Interesting to see that. Zor S from the United Arab Emirates. I'm not sure why he has that right now. We'll have to take a look here. Oh, 6.2 watts per kilogram coming from MD for 20 minutes. We are also seeing J. John at a 7.3 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes. I don't know if anybody was watching the World Championships time trials today, but, you know, maybe we need a few of those bouncers to show up and just do the full-on push off a course that Cycling Hub TV was retweeting. That is the definition of satisfaction right there to me, when you see the runners just get tackled by the cops, dude. That was one of the best moments of the World Championships I have absolutely seen. You look up satisfaction in the dictionary is my tweet, and that is what you see. The runners being tackled by the police. These are the runners, boys and girls. Where are the police? Get the police out there and tackle those boys. Cullen trying to chase them down. 6.8 watts per kilogram, though, today. But 6.2 and 7.2 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes. These boys and girls definitely on the Z-Power dope. That tackle was quality. Bring out the spreadsheet, Zach. Zor is a Zada victim every race. Tom Bovere saying ZS is Zor. And so I absolutely love this. Bring out the spreadsheet, Zach. Where is the spreadsheet? Let's go. Let's have some fun with this one. We better have that Excel full-on Google Doc linked in the chat right now. No one on my official spreadsheet is racing. Whoa. This sounds like an incomplete spreadsheet now at this point. Coffee cup is red today, and here we go with Cullen as Petit out of France right now. Grimshaw and Williams now trying to chase him down, but it looks like the Canadian boy, Jake Cullen, for the Zwift Academy is starting to give these boys a run for their money, and exciting to see, as I've not seen this guy race just yet. Jake Cullen definitely showing us that he's got perhaps what it takes to race against the best. 5.7, 5.9 watts per kilogram. And being the main word for official. Got you there, Roger. So since the last time you were on Zwift, is this unofficial? Martin is saying. So lots of banter over at the Mixer channel. Make sure to head on over there because they're having a lot of fun with this one today. Cullen with the new PR up and over the top. If you want to set new records, racing out on Zwift is the way to do it. 96 heart rate. I think there's a 1 missing from that, but we do have Kim Little here, 5.2 watts per kilogram, trying to counter Jake's attack there. Does get away a little bit here and grabs the fast time still. Well, still has the fast time from the last time they went up and over the top there at a 3:40.8. We do have Locks now trying to chase that down with Cullen. Boniface now 6 seconds is the difference. This is a serious threat. Webb now going, as you can see, 7.6 watts per kilogram. Not sure this is a smart move. I think he's going to do nothing but drag the rest of the group right along with him. As you can see, they're able to easily hang on to his wheel at this kind of a speed, and he's actually just shutting down his teammates at this point. Should have been waiting for the climbs or the flatter sections of the course to try and bridge that gap, because the group can just hang on to your wheel when you attack on the downhill like it's nobody's business. So BGL Fondo, Zach is alive and updating spreadsheet now on augmented reality. That tackle was amazing. Lost proper is saying this as well. So it's good to hear that the rest of the community really enjoys the tackles as well out there on course. Is this a game? Andrew Banky, thanks a lot for the question there. It looks like he's trying to throw a little bit of banter as well. over at us. It's similar to what the Mixer channel does bring oftentimes. So good to see you there, Andrew Banky. Is this a game? I heard it's a lifestyle. I'm being trolled now as well. It is a pain simulator, and Wanjo Ferris is saying, I hear it's a lifestyle. Zach is building an access database, Andrew is saying. And so question, are there many race organizers that are playing with the idea make a race series more closely resembling the big tours? Yeah, I'm bringing it all the same. So let's see here, like giving sprint points, KM points, and overall time. That could really offer something to all, or would this be too hard to do? This actually has been done in the past, and I'm really hoping that we see that brought back actually to a few of the series here this winter. I believe the KISS Racing series did something similar. SZR, I believe, did something similar last winter. There were quite a few series actually, John, that did do something just like that, and it was extremely exciting to see them, the riders, contend for the different accomplishments actually out on course. And so the sprint points, I remember quite a few of the TFC riders were showing up specifically to the races just for the sprint as well. So Andrew Banky is saying, I believe something like that has happened, not 4-hour ride races, but series of races over series of races over 2 weeks. So Andrew is right on. It has definitely happened before, and we have covered that in the past. It definitely brought a lot of more to the broadcast as well, following who is the current sprint leader, etc. So it does look like at least the likes of Adam, or not Adam, excuse me, Little, and looks like Vander now have gotten off the front. It looks like Kim Little was able to grab onto ZS and MD here. He's going to let them go and try and ride away solo still, it looks like, with Williams and Sullivan here trying to close that down. It looks like he has completely thrown down all the watts he can, though, at this bike currently, actually. I've never actually noticed the collar on these jerseys in game. That's actually pretty cool. Let's go ahead and look over the shoulder here. Do they all have that collar? No, that's really specific to the Team Experimental here, I believe. Actually, there's a collar there. Does Division 1 have a collar? I don't believe Division 1 has that collar. We should have a straight zip up to the top there. ODZ here as well. No collar there. No, there's a collar there on the ODZ one. Maybe I'm incorrect, and I've just been missing out this entire time as we look forward on here. Yep, there's definitely a collar on all of them. It's just the Vision one's been black this whole time. Man, I've been missing out. And Kev Steven here from ODZ. Good to see you, Kev, tuning in, saying, go Brett Boniface. Cheering on Brett. We'll see if Brett can take the W. One of the strongest racers that we've ever seen out on Zwift by far. This last winter was doing multiple races a day and taking lots of wins actually in the races as he was getting in shape for his racing season over on the West Coast for an elite team over there. And we are seeing now Brett here, the only ODZ rider in the front group in this A category as they make their way through the Essies right now. As you can see, they're heading down toward the sprint banner out on course. The fast time for the sprint banner amongst this A category riders, it will be Anger. And is Anger actually not a part of the A category? Now, this is what we're talking about here. If he were a part of the racing, he might actually have the sprint jersey currently out on course, and he would be able to win that point series if there was a point series for the sprinters. Now, so back into the C category and B category, I do believe we have dropped off all the B category riders out on course. So it will be Lincho here, perhaps, trying to chase down the front runners in the B category. We are seeing Jacobonis here as well as Andy Self, Jay Smits. Good to see Andy out on course here A category rider hammering away. We are seeing B. Anderson here as well. I'm going to see where these riders are standing as far as the B category goes. It will be Taizmaki out of Sweden, actually leading out with P. Hicks from the BRT team, right on the edge at 4.0 watts per kilogram, actually. We'll see if we can find Hicks and the others at the front end of this B category race. Weitzner is there. Here is Hicks right now, actually. 109 up from this chase group. Wozniak is there as well. This is the front end of the B category then, as we are seeing. Will be Wozniak. A. Grass is there from the A category, so it looks like Wozniak and the likes of P. Hicks able to walk away and get a little bit of advantage as they're hanging on to the front end of this A category as they come through the sprint section. Only a little ways behind, actually, the front end of the A races. The A racers are just making their way into out of the Italian village, and these B category riders chasing them down are just entering into the cobblestone section out on course here. So we do still have the social media integration. Make sure to bring it right on in if you'd like to. Let's show us your setup. Show us who you predict to win in each of the categories today. I'm not actually seeing Johan show up today. I've not seen him out on course just yet. Looking through the results as well. No Johan Gren, current series leader actually in the SZR series here. So, and Kim Little, not a part of the series as of yet either. So who is going to be the defending in the A category? Is Brandon Mentintalo now the Melty Man? Has he shown up? He showed up to quite a few races already this week, I believe. So he is not in this A category that I can see up toward the front either. But Kim still with a solid 7 seconds right now as they're about to head into the third time up and over the top of the reverse Watopia right now. So Kim Little 7 seconds to 5 seconds now. And now this is going to be the moment that they're going to want to bridge up to Kim as they hit the climb now. Webb allowing it to go back out a little bit. Doesn't want to close it up too much, but wants to close it up very quickly and then work together with Kim as soon as they hit that climb. But you know there's going to be quite a few more as they make their way over the top of this climb, catching up to Kim. Kim might be backing off actually and trying to rest up, as there are the chasers right now just coming into view behind him here now, kicking into 6.6 watts per kilogram. These boys are going to have 8 to 9 watts per kilogram to chase him down, so it's going to be a very difficult day after he's been off the front like this for so long. 165 beats per minute. Sullivan now 173. We're seeing for him Grimshaw 174, Roberts 160, Quentin LeFay there at 173, Dafford Williams there 141, but he beats fairly low for a max heart rate there. We are seeing Vander here 185, Petit here coming out of France with Webb there 159. Where is Jake Cullen at the back now, trying to hang on, it looks like, at 173 beats per minute. Maybe too much too early here from the U23 rider, but we'll see if he can hang on to the pace. There was early attacks from him, maybe a little bit too anxious with that young blood out on course here, but it looks like Zor now messing with the rest of the pack here. We're seeing him 11.7 watts per kilogram, and it was straight up Kim Little just asking him not to screw around with the pack, but it looks like it's almost useless. MD there as well, Quentin LeFay and Dafford Williams. Brett Boniface trying to get away from them at this point and not have to deal with the flagged riders out on course. Full on DQs for MD and ZS, as you can see over at zwiftpower.com. They will not be registered in the results. They can still disrupt things a little bit though out on course. So hopefully we can get a flag on them and removal of them from the world of Zwift racing right now for the SZR race series. But Brett Boniface here leading things out here at 4.0 watts per kilogram. Dafford Williams there as well. Vander there. Roberts then. Looks like Bergholt able to hang on out of Denmark with locks right on his wheel. So MD off the front by 7 seconds. Cullen now leading it out. Was able to hang on easily actually at this point. Not sure what the max heart rate is for Mr. Jake Cullen. Let's go ahead and take a double look here. here. 189 is the highest we've seen back in that XRS crit back on March 5th, actually. Took a 9th place in that XRS crit. We'll see if the summer has treated him well and he's able to get a better result here for a podium out on course. Now, counterattack here coming from Kim Little here for 7.9 watts per kilogram, hoping that the rest of the riders here maybe putting the hurt locker a little bit here with a lap and a half to go, trying to get off the front. Does not want that sprint finish, so it looks like Kim here with a 2-second gap now. Webb there as well with Daffy Williams, Sullivan, Petit, and then it will be Bergholt out of Denmark. 1 second back, it will be Roberts hanging on though in and amongst the group at this point. It does look like Vander's there as well. Locks just barely grabbing back on, clawing his way back to the pack at this point. 164 beats per minute, absolutely suffering here. Quentin Lefebvre right along with him. Jay Adams here now off the back here at 5.6 watts per kilogram. Not going to see the front end of this group, I believe. Again, if he does not have 7 watts per kilogram to give right now, it will hold at a steady 2 seconds, I believe, and continue to go out as they kick up and over the top for that KOM time. MD now with the no cadence coming right on through the group. Feels bad, man. So now here we go with Grimshaw up toward the front here. Kim Little now 7 seconds. This is a serious attack, and if anybody can close it down, it will be the move of the day as they make their way over for their 3rd time on the Watopia reverse climb today. And so we are seeing, does MD stand for medical doctor on a bike here? Rogers and Kim Little, what is going on here? Tom over his team. Why is Zor still on Zwift? He rides a lot of races and is flying every time. Seems like the pro contracts are just not coming through for some reason. Tom Bovary, I believe. It just seems for some reason he shows that he's got the numbers. He can win all these races. And for some reason, the Pro Tour just doesn't take his resume seriously. I don't really understand why. I'd pick him up in a heartbeat unless somebody's got a spreadsheet on this guy here. So Nobke now right along with Bergholt. Cullen now 2.9 watts per kilogram sitting in. We're going to be watching this boy here now at 127 beats per minute. Seems to be recovering very quickly actually from these efforts now. And it's going to be interesting to see if Jake can show the old man out on Zwift what a U23 can bring to the table. And so we are looking through over at the comments over at Twitch as well. I'm not seeing anybody too many over at Twitch, but good to see that we do have quite a few tuning in and viewing, actually. If you do have any questions or comments over there, go ahead and bring them right on in. Looking through at the social media integration as well. No comments coming through. Let us know, though, who do you think is going to take the W out there today? Who's going to take the win and puts my 10% into context, Adam Webb is saying. And I was actually thinking something very similar. You know, there's been a lot of banter out on the social media places lately around Webb and a few other that have maybe had a little bit of a buff in their trainer setups, but nobody was wait till Glenn sees this. You know, there's definitely some perspective put in place at this point because everybody is focusing on the full-on Z Power, Z Beasts going and messing with the race at this point. And it definitely puts into perspective because the heart rates of some of these riders that are really throwing down with a, you know, somewhere between 2 to 10% buff on some of their power. It's a big buff. 5 to 10% is big. That's big. But, you know, but it isn't big like throwing down 7 watts per kilogram big, right? And so definitely, you know, puts it all into a little bit more perspective about who you're racing and what kind of workout that you're getting out there against each other. We want it to be as accurate as possible. And we'll call it out straight up with not a lot of accuracy and kind of ruining the race out there today. Neutralized things up they could just ride away if they wanted to at this point, and they are purposely not doing so. So this is what you call being trolled in the races now at this point. As with a 7 watt per kilogram 20 minute, these riders could definitely just get away no problem. So Bergholt here out of Denmark now here, 4.9 watts per kilogram at the front. It's most likely going to come down to a sprint unless they can get away a lot of the riders are being extremely gentlemanlike. This is really, really classy of the riders who are having to deal with this, actually. We'll just talk straight about this. They're actually not drafting off these riders on purpose. They're not going with them. Extremely classy. You know that these are longtime veterans of the races, or at least they know the decorum. They know how to behave, and you don't race with and even draft off of riders who have a funky setup. So you let them get away. If you do chase them down, you try and let them go away from you so that you don't have to deal with them or drop them. It makes it really difficult, as a lot of times they'll try and stay with you, but it does look like they're starting to race each other now out on course for the final lap. So hopefully these boys can have a race of their own for the sprint out there today. So love to see your comments and questions, what your thoughts are actually out there about the race today. Tom Bovary said maybe the Pro Tour teams don't want to pay his ticket for training camp coming from the Middle East. Way too expensive, Tom Bovary is saying. Be right back in 30 minutes. Sounds good, Rogers. Let Web Race CS Tricks is saying. I love the hashtag there. Kim Little, he is playing with the Peloton, could keep up with Fluers. So with the Flyers. So Flyers is, I hate the flu. I hate the flu. They're like the flu, Martin Jorvik is saying. So hard to race with this mess. Good on these guys trying not to follow. Waiting for Rung to attack, Tom Bovary is saying. So he's got a prediction there that Rung might be able to throw down and take the W out today. It looks like Dafford Williams here, maybe up toward the threshold effort at this point at 148. I know he maxes out right around those 160s here. Kim Little, 2.5 watts per kilogram. Let's look through the group now at this point, as it is fairly neutralized, and see where the heart rates are at. Webb now 159. Grimshaw there 171. Definitely pretty high heart rate right now coming from Grimshaw, with still one more climb up over the top. He may be dropped off as they do hit this final climb through the reverse Watopia. Webb at the back here. John chasing him down at 8.4 watts per kilogram like it's nobody's business right now, with no heart rate and no cadence. So now we are seeing here 22 seconds up. The group is trying to stay away from him now. We'll see if at 8.4 watts per kilogram can even chase the group down. This will give you a good idea of the pack dynamics out on course and how fast they travel. Maybe maybe it's all about just keeping John out of the group at this point, and maybe they'll all work together as a single team. It's the Flyers versus the real deals out on course. We've got Team RD versus Team Flu out on course, trying to break the virus. Where are those antibodies out on Zwift today? And if Zellberg's predicting one winner, who will it be, CS Trick? I predict 2 to 3 guys will break away on the hill. I think CS Tricks may be correct about that. He's seen a lot of racing out on Zwift, so we'll have to wait and see, though, if he's got that right. All right, bring it in for the B categories. This is Grupo Compacto at this point. Looks like Wozniak, right along with Hicks, were caught by a solid group of B riders, actually. We are seeing, it looks like, YouTube user T. Watley, actually. Let's actually see what's going on here over at YouTube. I'm actually going to just open this right on up. YouTube.com/user T. Waitley. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here over with Mr. Waitley out on course. And he's got it right in his name. And I am seeing Casket. Is he live right now, or is he not actually live? I'm not sure. I believe he is not actually live. These are actually just videos that are not from Zwift at all. These are just videos of his races out in real life. That's kind of cool to see, actually, but I thought I was going to go there and see races. Live racing out on Zwift. It is not live racing. So cool to see, though. He does a whole lot of, if you want to check out T. Waitley, it's cool to see he actually has a YouTube. 74 subscribers. Looks like he needs a few more out there, boys and girls. Show him some love. These are actually races from his real life adventures, it looks like. Crit races and points races, etc. in the A category, actually. So go check out Mr. T. Waitley. From the B category right now, it looks like he's going to be battling it out out on Zwift for the win in the B category, actually. T. Waitley right along with Team PL here. It looks like hammering away. It's really all over the place. There's so many riders out on course. Makes it difficult sometimes to select the correct rider. But P. Hicks here from the BRT team looking solid at 140 beats per minute right now, right on the edge of that 4.0 watts per kilogram for his 20-minute power, actually. And at 141 beats per minute, is Hicks, can you do more than 4.0? That's the question I got for Hicks here, because he's been right on that edge of 4.0 for quite some time, actually. So solid ride, though, out there for the BRT rider here. Now looking toward the riders at the front end of this race now. We are seeing Kim Little with the attack at 7.3 watts per kilogram. Will it be a team experimental W out there today in the SZR race? Looking for some SZR points. A lot of the front runners in the race from last week are not here in the point series, actually. So lots up for grabs. 25 points for the win in the series today. Grimshaw is here as well with Dafford Williams. It will be Boniface also holding on to the wheel on the attacks here coming from Grimshaw. Grimshaw now 7.0 watts per kilogram, 187, 186, 188. Do I see 188? Not just yet here. Kim Little won at 6 seconds. Go Vision now. Roberts is, I think, full on blown up off the back, perhaps. That's why we see a go Vision from him saying, go on, boys, we've done the work now. It's up to you. Rung now being dropped off as well. Sullivan now just trying to hang on out of the UK. It looks like we do have Bergholt here coming out of Denmark, hanging on to the Frenchman's wheel there. Looks like this is going to be one of the groups dropped off now. Webb now hanging on, as it looks like Kimmon's got a full-on 7 seconds. They don't start working together at this point. Cullen, though, with a 10-meter gap over the rest of the group, maybe going to be a solo chase. He's gonna, if he does a full-on kick now at this point and grabs on the Kim's wheel, that would be the smart move. Kim still going at 6.0 watts per kilogram. Can he throw down in an Ian Bibby style right now and get a solid 330 to 340? Bibby did a 326 up and over the top of this climb, actually, I believe it was, for a solo win from the bottom of the climb to the top, and it was not seen again. Tim Cartwright did bring it back within 10 seconds, but it looks like Kim now is going to be doing a bottom to the top here getaway, but he's going to need about 10 to 15 seconds, though, to hang on to this gap to the line. Cullen's still trying to chase him down, 6.0 watts per kilogram, 170 beats per minute. He's got another 19 beats to work with, though, so I believe Cullen is holding back just a little bit at this point to try and maybe do one last kick to the line. You can't throw it all on the table just yet right now. Webb with the rest of the group here chasing down Cullen. It is still 3 seconds. Vander now 4.0, as we do see the group using that group dynamic to try and chase down the breakaways now, 25 miles per hour. This is for the win now at this point. The final last few K here, but Kim Little's got 11 seconds. I'm not sure he's going to be seen again. What's your prediction? Will Kim Little be caught? I'm not sure. I think he is gone at this point with 12 seconds to the line. No power-ups. I think Kim Little might have broken everybody out on course today. Hammer over kicker, Lee Prouty is saying. What is Lee Prouty is being hilarious all the time lately out on the comments here. We are seeing, it looks like MD. It's too bad he's going to get involved here. Kim's got to just race his race at this point and try and stay away. MD and ZS there, and Kim may be able to break those boys here. It looks like Cullen now getting away. Is he going to even be caught here for second place? Kim Little's gone now at this point. We're seeing Dafford Williams kick one more time, 9.9 watts per kilogram, but the gap is already maybe too big to be closed down unless a large group comes right along with Dafford. Brett Boniface kicking with him too as well. Cullen able to go with him, it looks like. Perhaps Cullen maybe put too much into the climb. 341 is the time there. Dafford Williams with a 341 as well. Kim Little set a 333, and that's what you need to do in order to take the W from these the group out on course here. We'll get set all of these new PRs from these riders up and over the top. 341, 342, 338. Absolutely demolishing it out there today. Kim has actually let the other flyers go off the front and still held on to his 17-second gap. I think it's going to be a sprint for second out there today in this A category. Kim Little 4.2, now 4.8. Just got to keep it consistent. The suffering is absolutely real now at this point. Adam Webb now saying it's sacrifice time. So who's going to go to the front and kick it now? And we are seeing 6-7 watts per kilogram coming from Webb. Webb now, as you can see here, starting to sacrifice himself to try and pull it back in. Kim now up into 6.5 watts per kilogram, only 15 seconds. As you can see, he's just right around the corner. Webb's going to be ramping it up now at this point. Will they be able to bring him back in now? It's dropping very, very quickly, starting to ramp it up. Vander now up at the front now. As you can see, Webb not even able to come through at 6.5 watts per kilogram, 500 watts, 37 miles per hour. It's only 10 seconds. Kim still trying to ramp it up here. 34 miles per hour, 36 though. It's 2 miles per hour higher though. Kim Little still 8.7 watts per kilogram. I'm not sure they're going to see him again. Webb's throwing everything he's got down at to the line now. Here comes Boniface. 15 watts per kilogram, boys and girls, looking for that second place, but Kim Little timed it perfectly. He's not going to be seen again. Brett Boniface, though, with a crazy kick all the way to the line. Kim's going to take the W here, and they're racing for second place, and it will be Boniface to the line, I believe. But here comes out of nowhere the Vision Rider. I'm not sure. I think it was actually Quentin LaFay takes second place, I believe. I'm not sure. Was it Berghold? Who was that? Was that Cullen? No, who was Grimshaw? Grimshaw nips, I believe, Boniface at the line. I think Quentin LaFay might. It was like neck and neck between Quentin and Boniface for third place, but I believe Grimshaw just barely threw his bike at the line there, was able to take that second place for the A category. What are the results over at SwiftPower.com? We're going to have to wait for the updates here. The B category is ramping up now as well. They're on their downhill section, as we do have, it looks like the YouTube boy himself here making his way to the line with a breakaway now, as we can see, looking through here for this B category right now. Let's go ahead and see how this is going to play out. Lindsey Gary up ahead, it looks like, here in the C category. Has not moved at all, though, as we're seeing. And so now it does look like YouTube user Waitley now off the front here, with Chang now as well coming out of the US of A, actually a lapped rider in the C category. So in the B category, it will be Waitley. Bonin now there as well out of, it looks like, Germany, with Edness Wozniak in the B category here. It looks like with 6 seconds, the YouTube user Waitley is going to be able to get away. If I can stop clicking around like a madman and actually find the front end of the B category. I think we do have it now. So to the line, 4 seconds, but it's not, 4 seconds is not enough to hold off with 500 meters to go on that Tron bike. Will he be able to make it happen here? Looking over his shoulder, is it going to start ramping up? Where's the sprint? Here comes P. Hicks now with 12 watts per kilogram from the pack, 158 beats per minute. I think he's going to do it. He's going to catch Waitley at the line. Waitley was off the front, unable to hold him off, though. But here comes Wozniak, actually. It's going to be Wozniak out of Poland. P. Hicks, and then it will be Zaranko from Team PL, Team Poland as well. That's your top three, I believe, here. Kim Little, and I was right. Here we go. I don't like saying that, but I was right. I was right, boys and girls. So Kim Little takes the W here with Tom Grimshaw, Quentin LaFay. Boniface looked like a perfectly timed sprint, 15 watts per kilogram or something like that. Was able to hold on for a little while, but the perfect timing there of Grimshaw and Quentin LaFay nipped him right at the line. What a sprint. 197 from Brett Boniface. I think that's a new max heart rate there for Brett Boniface, actually. Andres Vander, Aaron Locks there. Jake Cullen, great job to him, matching his best result out on Zwift, actually, with the 9th place U23 rider, showing all these old men. You see the Masters veteran and seniors all in there. So good to see the U23 showing up and giving these old men a run for their money right now. Hopefully be able to also show us something with the Team Dimension data, maybe top 10 out there. I'm calling Jake Cullen maybe for being one of the riders who might be a favorite out there with that kind of result. Also, the Christensen brothers there too, perhaps out there for a top 10 as well. Keep watching out for those U23 riders with those ZA badges out there. We are seeing Jarvis from Team Poland there as well. Arthur now, as we make our way to the top, looking for the rest of the blue dots in the mini map up here. I am seeing it will be Broback here out of Sweden now, making his way. Jay Curtis on a Neo now at 1.3 watts per kilogram being lapped actually. So it's actually going to be Broback, I believe, leading it out in the C category right now. It was a fat bloke coming out of Great Britain at 4.4 watts per kilogram in the B category. I think somewhere within the top 10. Lucas Wozniak takes the W though, followed by Pete Hicks for the BRT team, and then it will be Zagor's Zaranko for Team Poland as well in that B category at 3.8 watts per kilogram. Solid ride for them now. Moving our way through this C category, R. Harris now off the front. This guy's been winning all the C category rides lately. I believe he is an upgrade, though. Let's go ahead and look through the current results out here. Johansson, Edvinson, Monkey D. Luffy there, 4.0 watts per kilogram. Harris there, 3.4. Lawrence there as well at 3.9. So Harris, buddy, time for that upgrade. Let's go ahead and check out D. Arthur here, 4.2 watts per kilogram, climbing now, just ahead of somebody promoting some sort of coaching here. We're seeing Balo coaching. Good to see him out there. And looks like the coaching's working as he's getting away here from D. Arthur, perhaps. Road.cc. As I look at Broback is within category limits though. I'm trying to find where is Houston Broback. He was actually ahead of Arthur at one point. Looks like he's been caught though at this point and passed up by D. Arthur for Road.cc. Some solid effort here from D. Arthur actually coming to the line now with a new PR up and over the top of the climb here with a 416. Solid ride. We'll give him a ride on that as the confetti drops over his name. He's be getting away for the category win maybe in the C category. Broback now trying to hold off Johansson right along with Hemmingson. Johansson and Hemmingson right on that category limit, right on the edge of those category limits here. Let's go ahead and bring in real quick for those who are unfamiliar. These are the categories. If you are watching the broadcast for the first time and you are unfamiliar with the categories and you are racing, especially if you're racing 4.0 or higher, you are an A category rider. Head on over to zippower.com, see what you've held for 20 minutes. If you held higher than 4.0, you should be in an A category. It will actually be a red next to your watts per kilogram for 20 minutes, letting you know you should upgrade to the next category or to the category that is signified within these limits here. You see 3.2 to 3.9, 2.5 to 3.1. Quite a few riders at the front end of this C category are definitely over that limit, but it looks like Arthur here within those limits, holding off Broback here actually at 8 seconds, but Broback's got a huge group to work with now at this point. It's going to come down to a sprint effort. Will D. Arthur be able to hold them off now at this point? D. Arthur actually, is he a newer racer to the world of Zwift? I'm looking through here, trying to find him in the results here. I'm not actually seeing him though. Where is this rider in the C cat? There he is. So any past results for him out on Zwift, actually, he's got 10 races coming out of the United Kingdom. That's a pretty cool looking Strava pick there as well. Last time he raced was back on May 20th, took a second place in an A category race, but it was a WBR 4-lap actually. So not always the highest level of competition in those quick little races out on Zwift, but it looks like D. Arthur, no sprint going to be coming from him now at this point to take the W, it looks like, as Broback is going to be throwing down. Actually, no, I was incorrect. It will be Hemmingson now, all sprinting out with the C category riders, but Johansson now kicking from the group now, 9 watts per kilogram. Going to take that win over Broback. Arthur, I believe, now will be third place out there today. Solid efforts all around from those riders in this SZR Racing Series out there today. Looking through for the C category, all new riders actually showing up for the wins. Johansson actually, I believe Rickard Johansson actually though, for this C category, I believe is in the top few. Let's go ahead and look through here really quickly. Yep. So riding for watts per kilogram, R. Johansson actually, he does take, it looks like a top 10, I believe, in this category here today. I'm going to have to wait for zwiftpower.com to update as we are heading into. As we wait for the updates over at zwiftpower.com, make sure to tune in this weekend, the Aussie E-Crit Finals are happening Saturday, September 23rd, actually, in Melbourne, 17 to 2200 in Aussie time. Not sure if that is east, west, or north, south. I'm not sure which one it is, but definitely be checking out the Aussie eCrits final. They will be live here. So, and don't forget to get your Zwift Academy workouts done. The Zwift Academies are going on right now. Canyon Shram Zwift Academy for the women, the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy. What I've been mentioning for the U23s out there, what I've been mentioning all the way through, the largest, one of the largest online training communities in the world. 8 workouts, 5 group rides, and 2 races. Absolutely awesome job by Zwift. We're looking toward the final 10 and final 3 in that one pro contract to be given away to the men and the women's side. Big thank you to Cyclotech for their sponsorship of the SZR Racing Series, giving away some prizes. It looks like these are not I'm not sure if these are the exact prizes, so do not quote me on these, but here's an example of what could be won. So big thank you to Cyclotech, and this is for those in Sweden only that are jumping into the race series. For more details on that, make sure to be following the SZ Facebook Spaces out there. So for the results, let's go ahead and take a look here real quick. I do believe it was Thomas Hemmingson right on the edge there. Let's see here. Rickard Johansson actually with the win, I believe, because the rest of the riders up ahead are over category limits actually. So he actually is going to grab a solid 25 points to add to his 10 points, actually. I think he will be the series leader, actually. Westman is there, as well as Gilbertson and then Morton Jarlung. Let's go ahead and see real quickly here if any of those riders are in the results just yet. I'm not seeing them just yet, so solid ride all around. We'll go ahead and definitely take a look at these as they update throughout the week. Maybe we'll go live for a little bit just to take a look on Friday at all of the latest out on Zwift for the series, as well as what's happening with the Aussie eCrit finals. Do a little bit web show maybe on Friday to get things going, as we are having a little bit of render time issues there. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of lag for some reason. Questions, comments, or else forever hold your peace, because I am going to be out of here in just a moment. Sweet, if I don't go outside, I may do both. What is Nathan doing? ZA Endurance tonight at 9 p.m. Great. All right, guys, so CS Tricks is going to be live tonight. Casey Shum right here. Men's Endurance Ride at 9 p.m. I might actually join up with them, actually. Jake is the stick. Brett Boniface is saying, check out our Smart Savvy Garnu Facebook page or follow Race Your Bikes. All right, sounds good. I'm actually, make sure to tweet that at us next time so I can bring that right on in, actually. And he is definitely not see what Joe Ferris is saying. Andrews Tim is saying, looking forward to getting back racing in the Matrix. Ex-Tour de France rider, actually. Adrian Timmis, good to see you tuning into the broadcast. I look forward to having you out there and commentating on it. Actually, big participant in the SC series, Adrian Timmis was this past winter and spring, I believe. So really cool to see you tuning in. Always a pleasure to have you here. Kev Steven saying, did you not take a screenshot of the line? No, I didn't, Kev Steven. Apologies. So looking through here for some more comments. Coda Girl says it's your birthday. Happy birthday there, Coda Girl. Thanks for streaming, Nathan Guerra. No problem there, Tom Bovary. No problem at all. Good morning. How's it going, Johnny? Johnny, let's chat. Some cool ideas, maybe if you got some internet coming out of Melbourne for Friday prior to the races. So thanks for the stream, Nathan. Right on, Kim. That was a solid effort, man. Kim Little in the broadcast over at the Mixer channel absolutely killed it today. And thanks a lot for racing. As always, great job to all the riders. And as usual, a big old ride on, again, Aussie eCrit Finals, Saturday. So make sure to tune in for that. Later tonight, there will be a Zwift Academy ride live here with Mr. Casey Shum. If you don't know what Zwift is, this will give you an exact idea. I'm tuning out, though. Nathan Guerra has been your host. Make sure to follow at all those places over at Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all those places. ZwiftCommunityLive.com is where you can find us. Right on.